Hi everyone, you are watching Commerce King Academy. Right now, you already know that we have completed problem number 3 in last video. So in this video, we will solve problem number 4 of chapter number 4, the name which is General Journal Account. It is being stated that this is the requirement of this problem, which is journalize the following transactions. All the transactions of this problem consist of on year 2005 September. First transaction, which is September 1st, started business with cash amounted $100,000. So paid into bank 40,000 from 100,000, right? And ultimately remaining amount, which is $60,000, cash on hand of the business. Okay, it is stated that here in this transaction that means to say 40,000 deposited in the bank in the context of business. Okay, cash in hand of the business, any payments in future done by business by hand from $60,000 and any payments paid by bank or business from $40,000. Okay, clear? Dear students, this is the format of a general journal account or the original book of entry. This is the column of date, this column related to details or description, ledger value or ledger page, amount in dollars debit, amount in dollars credit. Dear students, you will understand that this is the first transaction which is related to the investment into the business. So September 1st 2005, cash account debit with amount $60,000, okay, and bank account debit $40,000. The total capital invested into the business, which is $100,000. Okay, details or description is commenced business with cash. Am I right? Now we will move toward second transaction of this problem. Okay, after completion transaction number first, now we are going ahead on transaction number 2, which held on September 2nd. Okay, which is the statement is bought furniture for amounted $10,000 and machinery for amounted $20,000. Furniture account debit because furniture purchased by the business on cash basis, and also purchased machinery. So machinery account will debit. This is the compound entry because it holds more than 2 accounts. 2 cash account, okay, with amounts, furniture amount which is $10,000 and machinery amount $20,000. So the cash will be entered with totals $30,000 with description furniture and machinery bought for cash. Okay, next transaction on September 3rd, which is purchased good for cash, amounted $28,000. It is too much simple entry. On date September 3rd 2005, so purchases account debit with amount $28,000 to cash account credit because transaction has been done on cash basis with same amount debit and credit with description. Next transaction is on September 6th. This is also simplest entry, which is sold goods for cash amounted $16,000 by the business. Okay, so cash account debit, am I right, to sales account credit. We will enter amounts now, which is $60,000 and $16,000. Okay, with description goods sold for cash. Simple is that. Next transaction held on September 8th, which is purchased goods from Ishtiaq and Company, amounted $22,000 on credit or on account basis. So the entry will be on September 8th 2005, purchases account debit with amount $22,000 to Ishtiaq and Company account credit in amount $22,000. Dear students, please listen with carefully. We will write the name of the supplier here because purchases has been done by the business on credit or account basis. Okay, so we will write the name of the supplier here. Okay, so the description or detail of this entry will be goods bought for credit. Next transaction is on date September 10th, which is paid telephone rent or bill or fee for the year by check amounted $1,000. Okay. You must keep in your mind that any payment paid by check means to say paid by bank account. You recall we have deposited into the bank amounted $40,000. So this payment will deduct from bank account as you know paid by check. On September 10th, 2005, telephone rent account will debit amount $1,000. Okay. So bank account will credit not a cash account because the payment has been done by the bank or by the check. Okay. Am I right? Having description which is telephone rent paid by check. Simple. Next transaction on dated September 11th, which is bought one typewriter for amounted $4,200 from Universal Typewriter Company. This is the supplier of the typewriter. Okay. For on credit or on account basis. Statement is clear here. Okay. After clarification of this statement, now we will move toward entrance of this transactions entry in the format of general account of this problem. Okay. We will give the name to typewriter in the category of office equipment here. So the office equipment account debit, because this is the product of office definitely, with amount $4,200. Okay. Now we will write the name of the supplier because purchase of typewriter has been done by the business on credit or on account basis. Okay. So to typewriter, Universal Typewriter Company account credit. Credit with same amount which is $4,200 with details typewriter purchased on credit. That's it. Okay. Next transaction has done on date September 15. Okay. Which is sold goods to Huram. This is the customer of the business. Okay. For amount $24,000 on credit or on account basis. Huram account debit with amount $24,000 to sales account credit with same amount $24,000. You must keep in your mind that Huram account, this is the customer of the business, will debit here not a cash to sales because this transaction has been done on credit basis with description goods sold for credit to Huram. Next transactions on dated 17th September 2005, which is sold goods to Ajmal. This is the customer of the business. Okay. For amount $4,000 for cash basis. Okay. September 17th 2005, cash account debit to sales account with same amount $4,000 because these are the sales which done on cash basis. So cash account will debit to sales account credit with description goods sold for cash. Next transaction on date September 19th 2005, which is amount withdrawn from bank for personal use by owner of the business amounted $3,000. Okay. So the entry will be on September 19th 2005, drawings account will debit amounted $3,000, bank account credit with same amount $3,000, having description or details cash drawn from bank for personal use. Dear students, one concept you must keep in your mind here, which is anything from the business withdrawn by the owner will be considered in the context of drawings account. Just like this entry, owner withdrawn $3,000 from business bank account, $3,000 ultimately will considered in drawings account. Okay. And may withdrawn by the owner of the business by or means of check or debit card or ATM card, etc. Okay. Next transaction on September 20th, which is withdrew from bank for business use amounted $7,000. This amount will not considered in the context of drawings because withdrawals of $7,000 will use in business operation. Okay, not a personal use by the owner. Cash account debit with amount $7,000 to bank account credit with same amount, which is $7,000, with description cash withdrawn from bank, because cash is inward into the business and cash is outward from here, which is credit side of this entry. So the bank will credit withdrawals from bank and entered into the cash account of business. Okay. Next transaction on date September 21st, which is received cash from Khurram amounted $23,800, with discount allowed amounted $200. Before entrance of this transactions entry, we will review the account of Khurram. So let's see here the previous account of Khurram on September 15, 2005. We have to sell to Khurram amounted $24,000. These are the credit sales. Okay. So total receivables toward Khurram, which was $24,000. Now on date September 21st, business gives $200 trade discount to Mr. Khurram. So the entry will be cash account debit and also discount allowed account debit against Khurram account credit. So to Khurram account credit. Now we will enter the amounts of this entry, which is actual cash received now by the business, which is $23,800, and give discount allowed $200. The total receivables was $24,000 toward Mr. Khurram. Okay. That's right. With description, cash received and give discount allowed to Mr. Khurram. Okay. Alright. This entry has been completed here. Now we'll move toward next transaction. On date September 22. Okay. This is very simple entry, which is paid into bank amounted $11,600. Dear students, we can say simply to this comprehension or statement that cash deposited into the bank. That's it. Okay. So the entry will be on September 22, 2005, bank account debit, because cash deposited into bank account amounted $11,600, to cash account credit amounted $11,600, with description cash deposited into the bank. Simple. Next transaction is on date 25 September, which is goods worth $2,000, okay, found defective, were returned to Ishtiaq and Company. Okay, this is a supplier of the company. Understand? Next, and the balance of the amount due to them was settled by issuing a check in their favor. We can say the remaining amount paid by us to Ishtiaq and Company with the deduction of goods returned amount paid by bank or by check. Okay. Before solution of this transactions entry, we review first the account of Mr. Ishtiaq. Okay. We have purchases on date September 8th from Ishtiaq and Company with amount $22,000. Now statement is said that $2,000 amounted purchases returned to Mr. Ishtiaq and Company. The remaining balance is $20,000 ultimately. Okay. So will be cleared more with the help of entry. Okay. So let's move toward entry. Ishtiaq and Company account debit. The total payables to Ishtiaq and Company was $22,000. Am I right? And now the purchases returns amount is $2,000. So to purchases return account credit, okay, with amount $2,000, and also to bank account credit with amount $20,000. So both amounts, debit and credit, will be equals. Okay. Understand again. Ishtiaq and Company purchases amount was $22,000. Now the returns or returns outward is $2,000. Okay. The remaining amount which will be paid to Ishtiaq and Company, this is the payables to Ishtiaq and Company, amounted $20,000. Okay. With description, goods returned and balance paid by check by the business to Mr. Ishtiaq. Okay. The second method to solve this entry would be Ishtiaq and Company to purchases return account. Okay. And then the second entry will be Ishtiaq and Company account to bank account. Okay, this will two entries. Okay, so now we have combined entry Ishtiaq and Company account debit to purchases return account to bank account. That's it. It will be called compound entry. Okay, because it holds more than two accounts. Next transaction is on date 28 September. Okay, which is bought goods worth amounted $4,200 from Aslam. This is the first entry. Okay, this transaction consists on two entries. Okay, the second is and supplied them to Akram at $6,000 on credit. This is purchasing amount, is selling amount. Okay, on September 28 2005, so the entry will be purchases account debit with amount $4,200 to Aslam account credit, because purchases has been done on credit basis. Okay, so we will write supplier's name with amount $4,200 with description goods bought on credit. The second part of this transaction will be on September 28, which is same date, further selling to Akram. So Akram account debit with amount $6,000 to sales account credit with amount $6,000. Okay, with description goods sale on credit. Okay, next transaction is on date 30th September, which is Akram returned goods worth $200. Okay, which in turn were sent to Aslam at $140. Okay, that means goods returned by the Akram to business to amounted $200, and then further business returned to Aslam, which is the supplier of the business, with amount $140. Okay, because this return with respect to $6,000. Okay, and this return with respect to $4,200. Okay, so the entry will be on September 30th 2005. This entry was Akram to sales by the business. Okay, and now the entry will be opposite, sales return account debit with amount $200, clear, to Akram account credit. You must keep in your mind that sales returns second name is returns inward. Okay, $200 with description goods returned by Akram to the business. Okay, the second part of this transaction is September 30th, which is the same date of above, 2005. So Aslam account debit with amount $140 to purchases returns account credit with same amount $140 with description goods returned to Aslam by the business, which was supplier of the business. Okay, so business returned further this stock to its supplier, which was Aslam. Okay, so this return will be by the Akram to the business. Okay, this return by the business to Aslam. Okay, next transaction held on September 30th, same date, which is issued a check for $2,000 in favor of landlord for rent for September. Okay, simple. This is the payment by the business by check. Okay, so the entry will be September 30th 2005 rent account debit with amount $2,000 to bank account credit, because payment has been done by the bank with same amount $2,000 with description paid rent by check. Next transaction has been done by the business on same date as above, September 30th. Okay, which is paid salaries to staff amounted $3,000 and received from traveling salesman amounted $4,000 for goods sold by him. Okay, this transaction have two parts. First is paid salaries and second is received traveling salesman amounted $4,000 for goods sold by him. Okay, after understanding the comprehension of the transaction, now we will move toward entrance of this transaction's entry. So dated September 30th 2005, first part will be salaries account debit with amount $3,000 to cash account with same amount $3,000, right? With description, salary is paid by the business. That's it. The second part of this transaction will be on same date, September 30th, 2005, cash sales by the salesman, okay? So the entry will be cash account debit with amount $4,000 to sales account credit because sales on cash basis, okay? With same amount $4,000 with description, cash received for sales made by salesman of the business. You must keep in your mind, this is the employee of the business, okay? Next transaction is on same date on September 30, which is paid traveling expenses amounted $200. It is too much simple entry. So date September 30, 2005, traveling expenses account debit with amount $200 to cash account credit. Simple. With same amount $200 with description, traveling expenses paid. So dear students, next and last transaction of this problem on date September 30, which is paid for charity, amounted $202, okay? Stationery $900, postage expense $498. We will done combined entry of these expenses, okay? So the date September 30, ultimately compound entry will come to an existence here. So charity account debit and stationery account also debit and postage expense or postage account also debit to cash account. Now we will enter the amounts of these relative expenses, which are $202, $900, $498. So the sum of whole amounts will credit against cash amount, okay, which is $1,600. This is the sum of whole expenses with description, expenses paid in cash, all the expenses paid in cash. All these above expenses paid in cash by the business, okay? This transactions entry has been completed here. At the end of the problem, an information shared with you, which is when a check is issued for payment by the business, okay, there is decrease in bank balance ultimately, you know, so bank account is credit. Just like when any payment you pay with cash, so the cash will credit. Same as when any payment done by the business from check or bank account, so ultimately bank account will credit. Understand? Thanks for watching this video. If you like, then share, subscribe and comment. Thank you all.